What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to JJD TV. I'm your host, Josh, and we're back like we always are after a match watch along for our 5 takeaways. Couple quick notes is I'm not going to be addressing any of the comments just because I'm going to make this 5 takeaways relatively quick and out, but you're more than welcome to comment all you want. And just, what a day. What a day. I didn't know if we were going to head over to Leipzig and take home a 3-1 victory. That was honestly something that I just wouldn't have expected. I was expecting a much tighter game than that. The first half, I thought the teams came out relatively even. I thought Leipzig created a little more chances and were probably the better team with more possession. But the second half, it just a complete turnaround, and the team just, Leipzig fell apart. I mean, their top guns were completely unnoticeable, and Dortmund just took it to another level, and all 3 goals were so well taken. We do have an injury to Witsel, which you've got to keep an eye on, but Emre Can came in and did quite a job there, and I'm excited to see what he'll be doing going forward without Witsel if this is a serious injury, and of course beside Thomas Delaney. But let's dive into our little 5 takeaways here with our very first takeaway being the defense. And I'm stressing this because in the first game, the takeaways that I was taking from it was what was going on with the defense in the best of ways, because like I said, Leipzig was a better game in that first half. But the number one reason we didn't go down is because Akanji, Hummels, Guerrero, and honestly even Meunier for like 80% of the game was pretty sensational. They defended with their hearts. Delaney was very involved. When Chan came on for Witsel, he did his job as well. And we held down the fort. We played very, very well. And we went into the halftime at a 0-0 scoreline, which is then we were able to build on that and turn it in. So whatever Terzić did during his time with this defense, he obviously turned them around and he got them doing something that a Dortmund defense haven't done for quite some time. With hope, it could have been back-to-back clean sheets. I guess that could have been very nice, but 1 goal in 2 games against Wolfsburg and Leipzig, I will take it. The defense is playing sensational. Going on to our second takeaway, it is Erling Haaland. And it's Erling Haaland because the guy came back from injury against Wolfsburg. Wasn't the best game for him, but we still got a 2-0 victory, and we were very nervous as to, well, what if this injury had some type of effect? How long is it going to take for him to get running? It took no time at all. He had 2 well-taken goals on a confident striker who's just got loads of ability with a nice header, beautifully timed run, a couple flick passes on, and of course rounding the keeper the way he did. Erling Haaland's back, of course he is. He's just firing it on all cylinders, and if we can keep this kid healthy going into the last stretch of the second half of the season here, I mean, we got a chance. We're back in the Bundesliga now because obviously the huge Gladbach performance against Munich, as well as Leverkusen dropping points, now Leipzig dropping points, and us picking up 6 points in the past 2 games, we're right back in it. We're still 5 points behind Bayern, and that is a tough thing in itself, but I like what I'm seeing so far, and having Holland firing is just something we absolutely need. Going on to our third takeaway has got to be Jadon Sancho. Another reason why it wasn't really clicking in the beginning of the season is because Sancho wasn't firing. This is a kid who put up 17 goals, 16 assists, and was one of the best wingers in the world, in my opinion, last season. He lost to Kimi. He wasn't in form. Completely miserable performances. And I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. 2 tough games. Wolfsburg, Leipzig, 2 goals, 2 assists in 2 games. That is what you want. That is from what you need from a player on form. Sancho, Haaland, and Reus were completely directly involved in all 3 goals. And I'm just very excited to see him. He's starting to show a little bit of form of what we expect from him, and if he can keep it going alongside Mr. Erling Haaland up front, we're going to have a dynamic duo, as well as obviously some other attacking player up front, but those are the key players. Those are the 2 players that we need to be firing if we want any chance of diving back into this Bundesliga title race, which if you would have asked me a couple weeks ago, I said was over. I mean, all we got to go is for top 4, but we're within 5 points, man. I mean, anything's possible. And then obviously our fourth takeaway, I'm giving it to our skipper. We're giving it to Marco Reus because I thought he had an excellent game as well. When you guys asked me in the comments what was going to be my best combined 11, I threw Reus in there, and you guys said I was biased. Yeah. But he had an excellent game. He honestly did. He was very well involved. That flick on to Sancho was incredible. That is exactly what a center attacking mid needs to do. They need to have the mindset and the awareness to know where players are around them, and that's what you see on someone on tip-top form. An excellent run by Holland, pass over to Reus without even having to look, back heel, no look pass, found Sancho with a confident finish. Those 3 are firing. That's why all 3 had to be named for one of the 5 takeaways. And I'm excited. I told you guys, I like what Reus is doing. I know he had a tough start to the season, but he's starting to get his form back. It's starting to show why he's still such a critical person to this team, as well as obviously being our leader, our skipper, our captain. So having those three firing is just incredible and honestly made me happy because all three were so involved in the 3 goals, and they were all well-taken goals. Guerrero dived up there as well. A lot of link-up play. They looked incredible, and I'm just on cloud 9. But the 5th and final takeaway we had to address is Edin Terzić. And the managerial position for Borussia Dortmund is up in the air. You guys ask me all the time. You throw names at me. Erik ten Hag, for example, is the one that gets tossed around a lot. But for me, the realistic options were Marco Reus from Gladbach and, of course, Jesse Marsch. But there is a third, and a lot of people, maybe I don't mention enough, that's Edin Terzić. Edin Terzić may take the reins and show that he's the manager going forward. And if you go into Leipzig, you get a 3-1 victory. You get 3 points against Wolfsburg and a comfortable 2-0 win. Those are kind of games that make the board think that maybe you're the man to take it on. And I said the number one way I'm going to be able to rate Terzić is to see what he does after the break, because he had time to work and not just jump into what was the Lucien Favre kind of mindset. And he actually was able to go in the formation he liked, which was the same formation, but tweak it the way that he wanted to do, and it has been beautiful to watch these last 2 games. And because of these huge games on this crazy run of form, we got Mainz coming up, and we could just hopefully get on a bit of a roll here. So those are my 5 takeaways, and my final one is the biggest one, is what's going to happen with Edin Terzić, because if he keeps this kind of roll going and we run through Mainz and Leverkusen, those are 4 incredible, incredible games, and I'm just very excited to see what his future has in store for us. So those are my 5 takeaways, guys. I really hope you guys did enjoy the watch along, and obviously on the chat right here. I'm not addressing any of the comments just right now because we have to get going, but I wanted to come live for my 5 takeaways, and I want to hear you guys' opinions on your takeaways, and if anything else in the game you noticed. Delaney deserves a huge shout out. Meunier did relatively well for being a right back, but of course you saw what happened. He left Angelino alone for half a second, and that led to the goal. But all in all, I was very satisfied with our offense, our defense, and what Terzić is turning this team into. It's been fantastic. And finally, the last note for you guys who maybe didn't join the watch along, the big announcement that we have going is that we have a partnership with Borussia Dortmund's Twitch, and our watch alongs for the foreseeable future will be over on Borussia Dortmund's Twitch. So we'll be staying up to date with you guys and on the community board and keeping you up to date with that. But it's honestly thanks to you guys' support, and we're very, very excited to see what's going to be happening, and with some very special videos that's going to be coming up through this partnership, as well as just being on their official Borussia Dortmund's Twitch account is incredible. So it's very, very cool, and I can't thank you guys enough for supporting the channel. Producer T and I are very excited for what's coming in the upcoming months. So those are my 5 takeaways. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are excited about the news, because we obviously definitely are, and we'll hopefully catch you over there on Borussia Dortmund's Twitch next weekend. So until next time, guys, be sure to comment, like, and subscribe, and we will see you soon.